Good day. This is Steve
Gallery
Stuckey
view.
from the Palmdale School District with our second ever Palmdale School District EdTech Coach podcast. I'm here with my other fellow EdTech coaches.
Hi, I'm Dan Hoffman. I'm over at Tumbleweed, looking at a great day, and hope to share some cool stuff with you guys.
Good morning. I'm Jerry Sloan, or good afternoon. It's nice to see you again.
Hi, I'm Melissa Shields. Thanks for watching.
We are going to start off by taking a look at some of the updates that Google has provided. And one of those is this priority button in your Drive. When you click this priority button, you can create workspaces of things that are important. I'm going to call this one Delete Me because I'm not going to put anything important in it, and create this workspace. Inside this workspace, you can add in all the files that you need just for that workspace. They'll even give you some suggestions. I'll just suggest that that's one I need to put in, add that file. I can look and add more files, drag and drop them in, and create a workspace so I know I can get my work done and not go searching for all those documents in other files and folders. They'll be right there where I need it. One of the other things we have available for you Palmdale School District teachers, if you have not done so already, is a certification and getting $500. Jerry.
All right, certification. So, as you may or may not know, we can get certified here at Palmdale School District. And if you go to this website, teachercenter.withgoogle.com/certification, you can take an educator level 1 test and get a stipend of $500, or actually it's $499. Sounds good?
Sounds like a plan. Moving on, we also have coming up on September 28th, that's like 2 weeks away or 2.5 weeks away, something like that. Melissa, what do we need people to come attend?
We need you to come and attend. Let me see if I can do this right. The EdTech Summit. I'm so excited about this. We have Eric Kurtz and Ben Cogswell as our keynote speakers. And if you just hold your camera or your camera phone up to the QR code right there, it'll let you click on it, register, and just get signed up to go. It's going to be so much amazing stuff. I'm super excited. I wish I could attend all the things, but all the sessions, but it's free registration for Palmdale School District employees, for anybody just teachers too, right? Teachers and
teachers,
anybody.
Administrators, don't forget
administrators.
Free breakfast, free lunch.
Free breakfast, free lunch, and just a great day of learning. And so scan that, go to it, enjoy it, share it with your colleagues, and you may see at some of your sites, we've put some of these flyers up so that you can sign up to go. And
you are doing a presentation, aren't you?
I am doing a presentation on Hapara, although I'm not exactly sure what part of Hapara yet. I have to go look. I think it's just making learning visible and using it as a great tool to just get the best work out of students and to keep that communication going with the kids and giving them that positive feedback.
All right, awesome. As we keep moving on and highlighting some things, we're going to highlight briefly what is happening in Google Classroom. There were some minor changes that went on that when you create an assignment for someone, and Melissa made me a student in this, rather than just opening up the document here, when you click on View Assignment, you're going to notice over on the right-hand side that the work can be accessed here now. I can open up the doc that she created for me. I can add or create a doc slide or sheet, or grab something from my Google Drive or link or file someplace else, and I turn it in from this place. So it looks a little bit different than before. It's all condensed in one nice place, which is a great thing. Dan, I believe there is another little update in Google Docs.
And I don't know if I would call it an update. It's more of a, hey, did you know it was there? And that is with the Google Translate. So if I have a doc and I want to translate this for parents, all I have to do is have my English version all ready to go, come up to Tools, and Translate Document. And what it will do is I will pick my language. I'll go ahead and pick Spanish all the way down at the bottom. There we go.
If we could reorganize those, huh?
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could move that one up to the top. But when I translate it, it's going to give me a fairly loose translation. But if you give this to your any of your Spanish-speaking teachers or your PCL or even your secretary, they may be able to fix this into academic Spanish. But then you have a really good translation that you can give to parents.
All right. And we want to highlight also things that we've seen in the district that's going on with EdTech and students and teachers. I think, Jerry, you have a couple things to share about good things in the classrooms.
I do. We see so much, but I do want to highlight this. Beginning of the year, there is a teacher, DHH teacher, TK even, Ms. Nastali, and instead of the traditional beginning of the year classroom tour, she let students take their own pictures of what they liked in their classroom or what they thought was important and put them in a slideshow with their partner. They even made captions for the slides in their own language. That's a really cool way to have kids collaborate and create instead of just being consumers, right? We also have this highlighted in our new EdTech newsletter coming out. And of course, we have a lot of different things for you on our EdTech newsletter, as well as our EdTech Summit information and upcoming trainings. And if you look on the lower right, you see that we can share some tips and tricks with all of the teachers across the school district.
So when this comes out, of course, you will be able to register for the AV EdTech Summit as well and take a look at the schedule. I will show you the website in a little bit with some of the sessions that are going to be available. We're going to jump in pretty quickly here into a discussion today between us, and we would love to get feedback from anybody who watches this. Our topic today is feedback versus grades. Now, I know that there's pretty much a couple kinds of feedback that we offer. The most popular is a summative feedback. It's a necessary evil. We have to do grades and report cards, but it really becomes a judgment piece, and it doesn't always keep promoting continued learning. Then there's formative assessments and feedback that way as well. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about the difference between using grades, using feedback, maybe how you've seen it done or how you've done it in the past.
So I guess before I left the classroom over here at Tumbleweed, one of the things that we were very good at was creating our CFAs. Those CFAs are really what helps drive our planning. It drives what we do in the classroom. And allows us to get feedback on whether we are doing what we're supposed to be doing and those kids are learning. The CFAs aren't necessarily something that I would put in a grade book. That's a tool for me to drive my instruction. So that's a lot of what the CFAs, and then at the end of a unit, the SFAs or summatives are really what goes in my grade book. It allows me to see everything that they've learned and whether they've been able to apply it to the different situations or questions on the test.
And it's interesting you say that, Dan, because we noticed that once you put a grade on something, students think that they can work on it or and know that.
I think I'm having a issue with Jerry cutting off, so I'm going to cut you off real quick, Jerry. Although it looks like you might be back. Go ahead and talk.
Just that putting a grade on something can finalize it, whereas it's better to think of a work that a student's working on as a continuing progress to keep updating it, to keep making it better.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
one of the, I'm sorry, go ahead, Melissa.
I was just going to say an example of how I used feedback in my classroom was that when I'd have students working on a document, one of the beauties of being able to see into their drive through the use of Hapara, just saying, come to my session. But my students would be working on something and I could watch as they're going. And instead of having to wait until the end when they turn in a document, and then I've got 150 documents to look over and grade, while they're working, I'm saying, oh, that's a great example. Can you give another? Or so instead of them, and I wouldn't give them a grade, I would kind of put off and I would keep giving them suggestions so that they would continually improve their work while they were going. And it was relevant to them instead of them waiting 3 days to get something back. And they're like, what is she talking about? But they could see it as they go. So it was that immediate feedback which led to me getting better first drafts, or not even having to worry about first drafts. Second drafts, third drafts were coming in as they go, and then they were actually giving me their best work.
And keep in mind, if you're not using Hapari yet, Google Classroom can help you with that as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
I do notice that one of the things that I find is that I've gotten a habit of collecting, say, a writing assignment, and they would get on the pile, and then I would try to get to them, and I would then, well, I have to grade them. And so I put a grade on it, but I might offer some kind of feedback on it. And when I hand it back to them, they get feedback and there's a grade. Guess which mattered?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was the grade. They didn't even bother with the feedback. So the trick is maybe to withhold some grades on some of the assignments, especially if you need to have them revise and edit what they're doing. Not just correcting grammar or punctuation, but actually making wholehearted changes so that the product is that much better, whether it's a document or a slideshow, anything like that. When we offer feedback, granted, it does take a little bit more time, but we're in it for quality rather than speeding things up all the time.
I had a conversation with a teacher last week, and we were talking about why we offer the feedback versus putting a grade on it. And the first question I asked her was, and she's pretty new out of college, I said, when you got your grade, even in college, what was your next thought? And she said, well, my next thought was, what do I need to do on my next assignment? I said, that's exactly it. And our kids think the same way. Okay, I got my grade. What do I have to do next? Instead of working on that improvement and working to what we as teachers want, we want mastery. We don't necessarily want to, give that D back or that C paper back. We want to see the kids actually master it. Why not give them multiple chances to do that?
And when you give them multiple chances and then ask them to go back and revise, we're also talking about persistence and sticking to something, not just saying it's fine when it could be better.
Perhaps if you want to use a score of some kind, a rubric score, they could work from a 3 to a 4, and they don't have that final number, a final letter grade that makes them think that the assignment is over.
And then the rubrics too, they can, if they know what different things, you can have them self-assess, look at their work and then say, okay, where am I on this rubric? And then the teacher just, instead of saying, oh, okay, you have a 2, it's, all right, so what are you gonna have to do next to get yourself to a 3? And then after that, what are you gonna need to get yourself to a 4, or however the scale goes?
Right,
Yeah.
and to follow up on that is give them the rubrics, but then add in the collaboration piece and have them share and assess each other and offer some constructive criticism to make those improvements. And it takes some of that whole feedback loop off of you, but makes them part of the feedback loop as well.
I think also offering anchor papers or good examples of that work that you want, along with the rubrics. That way the students can see, well, I see what the 4 is on the rubric, but here's the example in real time. I think that helps the students understand what the goal is for their papers.
That's why we love G Suite. G Suite apps make it so much easier to do all these things.
Well, we can probably talk on this subject until we're blue in the face, because we all know that there's not a single class or a multiple of classrooms that have the same grading philosophy. We would love to see your PLCs all grade each other the same so that the grades are fair, consistent, mean something to the kids and to the parents, and actually show some growth. So maybe take a few moments, if you watch this, to think about what is your grading philosophy and how does feedback play an important role into that before you ever slap a grade onto a kid's paper. So back to all 4 of us here. Enough about grades and feedback. We'd love to hear your thoughts on that. We do have some upcoming trainings headed your way in October.
We do. And let me get this up here. So the end of September and, okay. Sorry. I am sharing my screen, right?
You are. Next slide.
Except for I'm trying to, and it's like not having it. There we go. Okay, you click. I got to learn how to work my computer. So we have, I believe these are all up in PD Express. So you might want to sign up for some of these. We've got Benchmark Basics and how to customize your lessons. Remember, Benchmark is our ELA program for K through 5 at most places, K through 6 in some of our K-8 schools. Google Basics Docs, if you are unfamiliar with Google Basics or the basics of using Docs, or you're just new to using Docs, or maybe if you're a second grade teacher and you've just got the Chromebooks in your room. Google Elevate Docs, for those of you with a bit of experience, want a bit more to just take it to the next level. Digital Citizenship Week is in October, and so I know Jerry is going to be doing a Media Literacy Tech Tuesday on that. The Google Life Preserver class is for like the technologically apprehensive. If you are just barely starting, you have almost not a lot of experience with it, that might want to be something that you check out. Hapara Highlights, this is for teachers who have access to a Hapara already. If you don't have access to Hapara, then this class will probably not be too helpful for you until you get that Chromebook training and access to the Hapara program. Google Elevate Slides, again, that's the next level. If you have some experience, near the end of October, we've got video in the classroom and choice boards and Sphero. The Sphero training is for those who have not yet attended Sphero training. And just if you're kind of curious of whether or not this class is for you, when you go into PD Express, if you'll notice that at the bottom of each class course description, there's a target audience. This will help you decide whether or not this course is for you. So notice on the Elevate Docs, teachers who are already comfortable with and have used Docs in a basic manner. And in Hapara, it's for teachers with access to Hapara. So sometimes it'll say something like teachers who are new to the PSD. That means if you're a veteran teacher or have been here for 3 to 5 years or whatever, that class is probably not for you. And or if you've already taken the course before, some of them are a one-shot deal. You get this course one time and you don't take it again. So keep that in mind when you're making your choices. I think that's it.
That's good enough right now.
Yeah.
We're going to keep talking about a couple other things that we want you to be looking forward to. And one of those is in March. We mentioned last time about the Spring Q Conference. Talk to your principals now. Start getting hotels reserved now. It's very popular. You will have hundreds of choices on sessions that you can go to add some more tools into your EdTech tool belt and increase student performance, as well as making you more comfortable with the technology that you use on a daily basis. I did mention AV EdTech Summit earlier. Melissa did. avedtechsummit.weebly.com is the site. That's where you can register. You can also click on the schedule and take a look at the different sessions that we have going on to see what might interest you. And you can even pre-sign up for those ahead of time. So that being said, Melissa, you have ways for people to connect with us, correct?
I do. Sorry. So if you want to access any of your coaches, you may have seen a brochure at your site for the EdTech coaches that lists each of us and where we are located or what schools that we frequent. Although you can contact any of us at any time through these email addresses. So send them off to one of us or all 4 of us, and we will be able to take a look at what you need and see what we can do to help you.
Awesomeness. So if you would quit sharing that, Melissa, would be wonderful.
Sorry.
Let us all come back together.
If only I could figure out what's going on with this. You stop me.
Well, I took myself back, but
Okay.
I don't want to
There
keep
it is.
doing
Stop
that.
sharing.
Thank you. We're
Thank you.
back.
Sorry.
We're all 4 in the screen again.
Okay.
So thanks for watching today. We would love to hear your feedback once you get this link, and let us know. And of course, if this is something you might be interested in having your kids do to share their learning, contact one of us. It would be great. Anything else for the good of the order, people?
If you have any ideas of something you want us to cover, please let us know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, because we can come to you or make it a class for everybody.
Yep.
So as we go away today, remember who, let me try that again. Remember, you are not who you were. You are working on who you'll be. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.